and welcome to Sparkle and Chill. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So, y'all remember my video about the red 2 storage containers? Well, I saw somebody on, I don't know if it was the DAC VIP or if it was just in a post on Facebook somewhere. A gal made a carousel with hers, and she did a really good job. I can't remember her name. I'm going to have to look it up and give her a shout out, but I don't know what it is right now. Anyways, so I bought 2 Lazy Susans, and I already had this. I was questioning, what did you use? And she said she used Velcro dots. So I have Velcro strips that I'm going to cut into bigger strips and add them to it. And we're going to make this happen. So this is like phase 1. The gal on that I was following her message, she actually painted these. I'm not going to do that today, but I can do it later because, but I don't have any paint, or I would paint it now. But I can do it later because Velcro isn't going to prevent me from painting, right? So, I'm going to, I'm going to take them out, and this is what we're going to do. Today is Sunday afternoon, and I just thought this was a fun idea, and I want to be able to use it. I had so much diamond painting stuff on my table, I had to put a bunch of stuff in a box, and I'm going to have to go through and sort it and whatnot, but I digress. I'm going to pause, and then we'll come back to actually, let's not do that just yet. Let's pull these out. Let's pull these out so we can look at them again. And then I'm going to, so I did a video recently where a video showing people how to do things, and I had, I did 2 different videos and one that got deleted. So I did it twice, and one I didn't like, so I had to use a different budget kit. So I've got 2 budget kits done in baggies, and I'm going to transfer one of those kits into here because I don't want to do 2 things with baggies. That was a demonstration on what you could do. It's not what I typically do anymore, but it is a way to do it if you don't have any other way. I have storage, so I'm going to use storage. Now, I've seen this done a couple different ways over the last couple. It's so funny. I bought these, and then right after I bought them, there was all this stuff going on about them, all these different content. And now Forever Young just came out with, I don't know if it's new or if people are just now seeing it, but I've seen 2 different videos now on the Forever Young tower, and theirs is really cool. It's got a square base, and it fits 6 of these, so I think it was like 80 containers. So if you're interested in not having to make up your own, there is one that's there, and it's got kind of a cool little thing on top where you can go look at Pixie Sparkles. She did an unboxing of it, and it shows the top part. There's like a thing that can hold like your pins and stuff, which I think that's what I ultimately want to do, but maybe I just have to find like a cup or something that I can put on top, or that can go down inside. So we'll figure that out as we go. But now these were said to come with some kind of a sticky thing on it, but mine didn't. So let's now that I got these all out of here, I don't know if I should take them out while I'm setting it up or just leave them in and see if we can get it done. All right, let's pause now and then turn to the table. Be back in a minute. Just don't look at my mess over there, okay? I'm trying to declutter and it's not working. Not working at all. Okay. So what I figured I would do is I've got this, just bought this on Amazon for a different project. Well, I have this problem with my my refrigerator, and it's been a problem since I moved in. The freezer door on my thing, it pops open all the time. Okay, so now these are, I don't know, somehow it got ahead of itself, and there's probably going to be a need for that at the end, but I'm gonna cut. She said she did hers in dots, so I'm assuming I can do, oh, this is gonna, okay, so I'm not gonna cut this like that again. Okay, let's put those together. Those go, yes, that looks good. This is heavy duty Velcro. I think I'm gonna have to cut it. I'm gonna do it with my glasses. Let's be smart and be able to see. So I'm gonna cut a big strip like this, and then let's about Velcro, and then it's just like this. It doesn't have to be very precise, I don't think. I'm just trying to make sure that I have one of each part of it. And then if I was smart, I'd get out my cutting. I think I'm just going to do little pieces like this. This is very rudimentary. This is learn as you go. Because if you could do it with rounds, you could definitely make, okay, so these are the one part. I think I'm going to be smart here though. Let's have them be the same size. Set. I love coming up with a plan. So this gal, she painted hers this really pretty aqua color. So I think what I'll probably do is go to the Dollar Tree and get some paint, some little acrylic paint to paint it. I think that'll work really good. Now, I don't know if this is all that you need, but boy, that worked out perfect. Okay. All right, so then what we're gonna do, I may need more than that of these, but let's start with what we got to get. First, I gotta see how are they gonna fit. Am I gonna be able to get all of them on here? I did get a 10-inch. This is a 10-inch deal. And yeah, so this can work. Let's see, they all are on here. Let's put this over here. You see that? None of them are stuck down yet, but we're going to stick them down. And then I'm going to put something here. I wonder, some kind of a canister or something to put in the middle. It's going to be cool, huh? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I think each of these is gonna, I think I want to be pretty thorough here and put 2 of these on. Is that, oh, that's a piece of dog hair. Let's put 2 of these on each one. key is to be able to pull this one, the tape off, keep it on there. Yeah, okay. I knew I was going to do that. And then stick it. Okay. Fell over. Okay, guys, what not to do. I just dropped a bunch of them on the floor over there. I'll get them later, but for now, that looks good. Okay. Then we'll do the next one. I'm going to, yeah, there's 2, 4, there's 5. Okay. I'm gonna have to cut some more of the Velcro, but I'm just wanting to see how this is gonna work. That piece isn't wanting to come off. Okay, it's very sticky. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get some more, but I didn't count them or anything. I was just, this is just my, you're just seeing it as the mind works here, folks. Okay, and then we're gonna pull that off. Okay. Okay. It's not actually difficult. It's just, okay, I'm going to have to get another bit of it. Which part is this? This is the soft part. Okay, so what I need is I tell you guys that I'm clumsy today. Okay. I just noticed that on the back of this there is little measurement on the back of a portion of it. So that's good to see. See that? There's like square grid on that. There's not on the other one, but just on the one. So what we're gonna do, they don't have to be perfect. I did that pretty good. Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll stick them together like this and cut. So there's one. This is very, very easy. I think any third grader could do this. It's not rocket science or anything. It's just basically using tape. I'm so excited though because I'm going to get one of the pansy picture that I kitted up in here so you guys will see that, and then we'll start using it. Although that's a small kit, it doesn't have a lot of things in it. And then these two go together. Okay, so we've got, so then what I'm gonna do here, and stick that piece. Probably could have not cut it into strips and just done a whole thing of it, but what's done is done. Probably do that to the top pieces because it'll be a little easier. Okay, and then we're just going to pull this part off. It is very sticky. Okay, and then we're gonna, like that. Okay. And then put all these aside. I'm so excited about this though, because as you can see on my desk over here, I just have a little bit left of this desk, and then I have this little table here that I keep my, when I'm working on things, that's where the drills are sitting. But this will make it so that I can have stuff done a little bit differently. And let's see here. I don't know how much the Forever Young one is that's out right now. I'm sure it's not super cheap. I don't know that it's really expensive, but this was pretty. I got the red 2s on sale. Now I can't remember how much it was. If you watch the other video, I'm pretty sure I tell you. Okay, and then we've got one more. And all these things were falling out, so I'm going to take these out. I lost, I think, 4 of them on the floor. I have to go get. I'm just going to pull these out so that I don't spill them when I'm getting this one on. Okay. So, what are you guys doing this weekend? I've just had a really low-key, not done much of anything. I went grocery shopping yesterday. Can you guys even believe the cost of groceries right now? I can't seem to go to the grocery store without spending $50, even if I walk out with the smallest amount of stuff. And I just have a regular weekly kind of things that I do. $50. And it's wild to me. When I was, years ago, when I first moved out on my own, I used to take $20, but, you know, and that was a lot back then to spend on groceries. But I used to take $20 a week. It was pretty much my budget for groceries back in the day. And now I guess it's $50. And you don't even get as much as I used to get for $20. Okay, so this is not quite even right there, but it still works. Okay. And then let's see. I think this is how you do it. Yeah, they go. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I'm not sure what these are for, but I'm sure there's a use for them. So I'm going to set them aside because it had 2 of those, and then it had a couple of these. I think this is just to keep the spacing. And there was 2 of those in the tower. I hope this is right. Is this the way that it works? Oh, these are upside down. No, that one's right side up. Let me see. Yeah, they're the right way. All these little tissues. I'm good at this, guys. I'm good at making things fall. I need to have the trash can over here so that Well, guys, what I'm going to do next, I shouldn't put all these in because I'm going to put the top part of the Lazy Susan on. And those don't all fit that way. Oh, it's because there's that thing. Okay. And it has these again, so these must have some significance. I just don't know what it is. Okay. So yeah, it seems like, oh, there it is. Okay, now what I need to do is the same thing that we did there and put this on top, okay? So what we're going to do is make sure they're structured properly. I've got to do another mount. I'll do, let's go to here. Okay, and then we'll go the same here. All right. I got sidetracked with some things. Okay, so we're gonna, God, I bought this stuff. I was like, when I was buying the stuff to fix the refrigerator, I just need to make sure that the door stayed closed. I was like, how am I gonna do this? So I think what I need to do is see how many does it take. It takes, let's do 8 squares. Should do it. 4, 8. And then just put these together like so. This is kind of fun, actually. I like finding fun things to do, you know, little projects like this that make things easier. Okay, and I'm just going to stick that right there, and I'm going to press it down good. And then just keep doing that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh. Okay. So that's going to do 3 more, so I'll have to get a little bit more, but not too much. Glad I noticed that little measuring thing. That's a key thing there, folks. Stick that on there. So yeah, today was has been kind of quiet. I took the dog out to go run an errand with me. Guys, she gets car sick. It's happened 3 times now. She did, so I figured out, I bought her a car seat, thinking that that would be great, because my last, well, not, Sophie didn't have a car seat, but my dog before that, Max, had a car seat that sat in front, because Sophie was a little bit too big to fit in the car seat, so she had to have the back seat. So I bought this car seat, and every time she goes in the car seat, she gets car sick. I think it's because she can see everything moving. Because when I put her just in her crate, her little mini crate, and take her someplace, she doesn't get car sick. So I think it's the seeing things go by. She did at one point lay down, and then she seemed to be fine, and then on the way back, and we weren't gone very long. I've been trying to take her on short rides, you know, that, you know, to get her used to the car. And yeah, it was not good. So we need one more. That's coming together very quickly. A little over 20 minutes now. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Well, I do want to do that, but not till I cut them hooked together. Okay, now we're going to stick this on top, and then I'm going to go around and take each of these off. You'd think it would be easy, but they don't want to come off. Okay. Okay. I do think I want to put something in there that'll keep it stabilized. I wonder, you know what I'm thinking? I wonder if, no, they're too tall. I don't have a box small enough. It's a good idea, but I might have to come back to it later. When I go to do the painting, I might put something in there. Okay, come off. Okay. I think the top, once the other Lazy Susan is on there, it will stabilize it because obviously it's but I did get the 10-inch base. Now originally when I saw somebody doing this, they had put an 8-inch base. I went ahead, somebody else came on and said they did. Okay, now how do you do this without okay, so 1, 2, 3, drop. Oops. Well, it's on there. This one's not quite the way I want it to be, but it's on there. Let's see. I guess you guys didn't see that part. Ta-da! I have just made this. I have a few pieces left of my stuff. But yeah. So that was fun. I'm going to pause because you guys aren't going to want to watch. I'm going to pull everything out and I'm going to get the kit that I'm going to do and get it ready to just put all in there. All right. I'll be back. Hey, hello. We're back again. So I've got the numbered one, well, through the numbers, and there's only one on this tower. That's unfortunate because there's 3 towers left. This is the painting that is kitted up, and I thought it would be fun to see how well this works. And we've got H is next. Okay, so let's see how this will work. Back that out a little bit. Where is my... You know what I did? I put all of my stuff in a box to get it out of the way. So I will pull out a new pin because I don't have one available. So single place for a few. Oh, this is one with the this one has putty instead of wax. I set it aside for somebody else because I don't do putty. Not that I can't do it, I just, especially in the heat, it's just not, okay. All right, I'm gonna pull this out. Sorry, I thought I had everything sitting here. Let's check this out though. Let's go. Perfect, this is a brand new one. So I'm loving this whole thing, and this top here spins around. I'm thinking of getting something to put around the top to make kind of a ledge so I can set stuff up there, and it would, and maybe even put a cup of some sort up there, with all my pins. That would be really handy. So yeah, I think this is a really, and I liked what the another gal, she painted hers this really pretty color. So I might do that as well. We'll see. But for now, let's see. I threw all my stuff. Let's just pull this little piece off. This piece I'll show you me putting a couple drills down. Let's see here. Well, my idea was to put some drills down, but let's do them over here. This is crazy. I'm going to have to put some, that's what I'll do. I'm going to have to just put some, I don't have my pins and everything's kind of in the, hold on a second. Let me get prepared here. Okay, we're back. All right, so the tower over here is finished. And I have one of the boxes here. I put some drills down on this. Now this particular canvas, I started it one night when I was doing a video. I didn't do too much, I just put a few drills down. But I started it and then realized I had done some things wrong in the video, so I did a different canvas and kitted it up. That's why I wanted to get this one put in here, because I didn't want to work out of baggies on a bunch of kits, because I just don't do that anymore. That's not very authentic. I do use, I did the video that I did to show what you can do and that it works, and it certainly does. It's something that I did when I first started, and if you don't have a lot of money, it's really the easiest way to go. So I wanted to show people that. It's the most rudimentary way to do it. Now you can also use the little bags that came with it, but oh gosh, well that, did you guys see that? Of course we did. Of course you did. Okay, so that's an immediate issue there. Okay, throw these in. I'm not sure why that happened. You're supposed to be able to use that to do the drills. And, oops, I just dropped some on the floor. Okay, so all right. Now, okay. I'm not quite sure why that happened, but I'm going to hold on to this part so I can. Okay, let's see if I can do. It works, but you do have to be careful about pushing down when you're doing that, or it flips like that. Right now I'm holding it with my finger to be sure I don't do that again, because that was rather unexpected. Okay, let's make sure that this goes. I'm going to see. Boy, I'm not doing so good here. Let's see. I don't think it's a good day for me to diamond paint. Did I get an extra? That's what it is. I got an extra drill that somehow. it over in front of me a little better. Can you guys, I don't know that you guys can see that. I'm trying to get, I bought a contraption to hold my iPad, and then it was missing a piece. I ordered it, and so I had to send it back for an exchange. My hope is that that doesn't take too terribly long, but it's very frustrating that it was missing the part that held it together. Like, okay, how's this gonna work? So I'm gonna have to go through I threw all the things that were sitting on my desk into a box, so I need to go through it and get all the stuff that I normally use back out. But this is gonna make it so I just get a few things to set out, and then everything else I'm just gonna have to put into another container or something. I've got this drawer, this 3-drawer thing that I have in my closet full of a bunch of stuff that I haven't looked at in a long time, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty that out and throw out a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to bring that over here, and that way I can have various different stuff sitting on the desk, but it's not cluttered. I can have a drawer with pens and all of that kind of stuff. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I might do that this evening, just to get it done, because I thought of it last night, and I was like, you know, that would be a really good idea if I could do that. It would make things much easier. I do like this, though. I do think you kind of got to hold your finger on it, though, to make sure it doesn't flip like it did a minute ago, because that was not fun. So as long as you're aware that you kind of need to be careful that way. Somebody else had said to me in the comments on when I unboxed this that they liked these, but they didn't like the little trays. I actually like the little trays. I mean, we'll see how well it works long term, but my whole reasoning for one of the reasons I hadn't bought them was I thought, you know, well, how do you, that piece isn't going to go because there's so little bit of plastic there. This plastic thing ripped. I'm going to have to get this part off. There's still plastic, right? My tweezers. Where did I put them? They're in that box. Well, I guess what that means is, oh, I can put those H's down. I do like this. It's different. I think it's gonna increase my time in getting things done. Not that I'm in a hurry to get things done, but I like the idea of not having to pour out of the bottles. I love the bottles, don't get me wrong. That's one of my favorite storage deals, but this, when you've got a painting that's got a lot of confetti, you spend a lot of time pouring things in and out of the jars, and it gets a little bit monotonous, and it takes your time. This looks like a great solution, and I think it's going to work, especially with those canvases that have a lot. Now, this isn't a canvas that's I mean, it's got some confetti, but it's not, I wouldn't say super confetti heavy, but then I like confetti. But for some people that just don't like confetti, I think this is a really good solution, and I'm glad I got it. And I love that other people came up with the idea. It was funny, I was trying to figure out, so how do I use this, because there was no like box or anything for it. And then I was on Facebook, and somebody was showing that what they had done, and I was like, oh, I just bought those, I need to do that. And so that was a few weeks ago. And then I bought the Lazy Susans, and I just hadn't got around to doing it. So I had only bought one Lazy Susan, and so that was why I didn't get around to doing it. I bought one Lazy Susan, and then I saw somebody else's, and they had put 2 on. I'm like, oh, it's got to have 2. So I ordered one more, and those are really cheap. They're like $8. So I guess, so if I've seen a few people in the last couple days unbox the Forever Young new deal. It's a square turntable, and I think it's probably better setup because it's already done. You don't have to do anything. So if you haven't already bought if you've already bought the Red 2 containers, that's what I would do is build this. If you haven't, the Forever Young one, I don't know how much they cost. I didn't go look, but I've seen a couple different creators that I know of just do unboxings on that. I'm not going to be getting it for obvious reasons. One, I don't need it. I've already got this one, and so there's no point for me to do that. But you know, if you want one that's already made, you don't have to do all the stuff, go for it. I liked this one. I liked these ones. My whole point of getting these, oops. Well, I'm learning whether this is going to be good or not. Those just popped because of a bump. So it may or may not be the best. That being said, the reason, as I was saying, why I wanted this one, I like that it's got this little tray on top. I do. I like it because it gives you the space to have more drills in here. I fear if I had the ones that were just the ones that just have, that are just like this, that don't have the top part, that there's too many drills. But you know, that looks pretty good too. So, and they do all fall down there, so I guess it really just depends on what you like. And I may find that I don't like these if it keeps doing those things to my drills. But outside of that, the concept I really like. And I think it's pretty smart. Now, whether it's going to be a long-term ability to do it this way without it causing those little accidents here and there, we'll see. But I gotta say, I love the concept, and I really love the idea of just having everything kit up this way. I also want to get, somebody else showed a thing that they built that was made for rubber stamps that is the perfect fit for the Diamond Art Club trays for these and the bigger ones. And that might be also a good way, because you could kit up and just have them, you know, have the numbers on there and do that without having to do any of this. So a couple different ideas to do the same thing. If you've got a lot of people do like to kit up in the Diamond Art Club ones, because you get them with every kit. So I mean, it makes sense. Why not figure out a way to use them? Because I mean, you don't need several of them for each thing unless you're doing it this way where you've got them kit up. Because I find if I have too many colors, like I watch people, have you guys ever seen people show a video where they've got all the diamonds in those little green boats and they've got like 20 of them all around them? That is just a nightmare. I have nightmares about that. I see that and I'm like, oh my gosh, it takes nothing for all of that to just tip over. So this is a really nice, and I would get confused on what was what. These clearly labeled. You can relabel them every time if you need to. And I think what I will eventually do, I've got some Art Dot numbers that are like 1 to 100 that are just one color, and I'm thinking of maybe putting those on so that I have all of them numbered, and then when I'm doing a kit I can put, like, if there's a letter or a symbol, but that way they're all numbered that way and you're ready to go. yeah, I am liking this. And what I really like is I can go, okay, so I'm getting these H's on. There's, yeah, those are uncovered. Okay. Let's see. So say I don't want to finish doing the H's. I don't have to. I can go here and get the 7s without missing a beat. So there's a bunch of 7s right there. Unsnap it first. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but you know what? I like it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to do these 7s and then I'm going to call it a day because actually a little bit over there is sleeping, so I don't even have to worry about her feeling left out right now. She's napping. She's learning. One of the things I am learning about my little Millie, she gets car sick. Every dog I have had gets car sick. It usually takes a little while for them to outgrow it. But so far, other than, so tell me what you guys think if you guys are dog owners. So I got her a little car seat so she could see out the window. And I had one for my Max. He's the only dog that never got car sick, now that I think about it. And he started in car seat from like very early on. I got it for Christmas the year I got him, and he loved the car seat. Sophie got car sick in the beginning, and I used to have to keep her in her kennel in the back seat. And then, you know, she'd get sick, we'd go clean it out, whatever, you know, when we got wherever we were going. Now Millie got car sick running an errand today. I'm trying to get her used to going. Since she got car sick the last 2 times I took her, I thought, well, I need to get her used to going, and then, you know, she'll outgrow it like Sophie did. Sophie eventually never got car sick anymore. So I'm thinking, so I decided this morning I wasn't going very far, literally a 15-minute errand, if that. I had to run to the bank, and I figured, well, I'll take her with me and she'll be fine. It's only a couple miles away. So I thought, you know, we got there fine, did what we needed to do, or, you know, and then on the way back, all of a sudden she started throwing up. I'm like, no, I don't want this to be the case. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. I was like, I'm trying to drive and she's having a hard time, so it was kind of funny. Not funny, ha-ha, but funny. Okay, let's get those H's. That's what I started with. I'm just going to get this little corner done. I like this. This does make it much easier. And, yeah, I say this is a win. Now you do have to be careful, and I am using my finger up in this top section to make sure that it doesn't flip. But I'm glad that happened and people saw it, so you're aware of what can happen. But I'm finding if I just have my finger right here and I'm just touching it with my finger, it's fine. It's not doing that. It's just kind of like if you sit on the wrong side of a bed, like if somebody puts a bed together wrong and the part where your head goes is where the foot goes, and you sit down and the whole bed raises. That's sort of what happens when this, and I don't know that there's any way to fix that, but hold it with your finger, which is not difficult. Okay, that part is still covered. I've got to pull that up with, I need to get the tweezers out. But we'll go ahead and get this part that's sticky done, because I'm going to have to pull that off. Okay, there's no drill there. So I hope you guys are doing well and having a nice end to your weekend. The weekends never seem to last long enough, in my opinion. I need a 3-day weekend every week. I really do, and even that would go fast, right? I mean, I think I'm getting to an age where I'm just ready to retire. I'm ready to do fun things on my during the day. It would be nice to be able to just diamond paint when I wanted to all day long. I know it would, because I got to do that for a period of time. I don't think that's there. Okay. I have to pull that up. I'll get out my tweezers here in a couple minutes. And then, all those C's are covered. The plastic ripped. And so it's got a whole spot here that's ripped, that's still down, that I'm going to have to fix. But that is basically how this is used, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to increase the time, or lessen the time it takes to do diamond painting, because it has to, because you're not having to pour out and put back in. You just get to keep going to the next color without any of that and this is going to make me want to have only a couple kits to open at a time. I kept hearing everybody raving about using this type of a system where they're just already basically kitted up and like this and ready to go. And I was like, oh, that sounds nice, but I do love my bottles that I use, but this is something else that I think is really nice. And I just also realized I love my 5-placer that I just bought, because this is a 4-placer and it's plastic. It's not quite the same. Isn't it funny how when you get a certain tool, and you start using it, and then you go back to what you had been doing before, and you're like, I don't like this anymore. And before it was perfectly fine. I don't know. That's... I'm going to get these H's done because they're there. Well, you guys don't have to watch me do H's. Thanks for watching, and I hope that this was fun for you. It's been fun for me to, figure out how to get this thing built and get it set up for diamond painting, and then to start working on a diamond painting that, yeah, it's just kind of fun. So thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button. If you watched it to the end, what kind of emoji can we say? How about a flower, um, or a tool of some sort? Because we're talking about tools today and how they change our lives and the things that we do and kind of help us to do things a little bit more efficiently. And anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.